White sands, crystal clear waters, subtropical gardens and relaxed island living. Sounds too good to be true? Well, for those of us lucky enough to live in the southwest, it's not such a far-off possibility. In fact, it's only 30 miles away or just 20 minutes by helicopter.
The Scillies are the most westerly part of the British Isles, and the archipelago of 150 islands is classed as an area of outstanding natural beauty. Once here, it's easy to understand why.
In the past, the economy here depended on flower growing and shipbuilding, but nowadays it's the tourists that keep the Scillies afloat. And for many of them, the beauty and tranquility of this place are so hard to resist that buying here is the only option. The Scillies are home to a permanent population of 2,000 people, but there are only 2 estate agents. So we've come to St Mary's to meet both of them and to find out about the unique conditions of the local property market.
Estate agent Tony Dingley has been on the island for 30 years.
You're a rare breed because you're an estate agent on the Isles of Scilly and there are only 2 estate agents.
Yep. There's only enough for 2 anyway.
In fact, there's only a total of 1,100 properties on the islands, and a small stock means high prices.
Bog standard 3-bedroom semi-detached. Well, that's going to cost you 300,000-ish, which looks like a garage.
It looks like a garage.
Well, it does, doesn't it?
Tony, you are an estate agent.
Yes, I know, but
like
I'm an
honest
one. Yes.
To give me a better feel for the local market, Tony took me around a few of his current properties.
3-bedroomed, lovely views from the back across Porth Cresser.
OK, very good, but what's the price, Tony?
495,000 or nearest offer.
495. I mean, to me, that sounds like a lot of money for what is a small property with no garden.
Well, I did say all nearest offer, of course. We'll go and see the others. Yeah, good.
Slightly cheaper is property number 2.
And this one's on the market for
265.
Every time I ask you the price, Tony, you look as though you're just making it up.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Oh, 265.
Yeah.
And what does that money get you?
Well, this is a pretty little 1-bedroomed maisonette. This one in particular hasn't got a planning restriction, so this can be lived in as well as a holiday let. Here we've got the staircase.
Breathe in.
And then we have the living room here. Southerly aspect, so you've got sun all day long.
I'm just too tall for it, though.
Can't sell it.
So this cosy cottage could be a holiday home or a first home on St Mary's. But many properties on the Scillies don't allow you that choice.
This is your entry-level property on the island.
Right.
1-bedroom flat, holiday let, can't be lived in. So this is really one that you would buy to start. It's a starter.
For 185,000, you can get a place to holiday in. But for some people, that's just not enough.
It's Radio Scilly with you two. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. It's always the last place you look. That's what people say, isn't it?
One person who's found what he's looking for is DJ Kerry Jones.
Kerry bought his cottage last year. It was built in the 18th century, and it's your typical 2 up, 2 down fisherman's cottage.
And guess who sold it to him?
I managed to find him a cottage on Scilly, which is a pretty little cottage. So perhaps he might have been one of the few that didn't have to compromise so much.
Kerry moved here from Wales to set up the world's smallest radio station.
Obviously, you've had to pay quite a bit for the property you've got here, because let's face it, property is not that cheap on the Scillies, is it?
I paid 420 for this.
OK, and you're actually going to spend some money to get it renovated, are you?
I think the key thing for me is actually turning the property upside down on the inside.
So you bought this property not knowing that you could get the planning to renovate it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a risk, isn't it?
You don't buy assuming you can change the world, in my view. I think you have to work around what's there, and it's a bonus if you get the permission.
And who's in charge of the renovations? Well, that would be the island's other estate agent here on Porth Cresser Beach.
Is it tough coming to work?
It's dreadful, dreadful. Looking out at that sand and sea and sun. Yeah, no, it's a hard job.
And because the property market is quite small out here, do you find that you have to diversify as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got lots of irons in, lots of fires just to sort of make ends meet. And we've just started an architect's side. We're trading as island architects.
So not everyone's as lucky as Kerry. Planning on the island is notoriously tight.
The whole area is a conservation area, so you've got to be really come in with your eyes open if you've got ground plans and be prepared to have a few knockbacks along the way.
But this view makes it all worthwhile.